this is the spirit. This is you. This is the earth world. This is the eastern door. And you're here, watching your mother soon to give birth. And the grandmothers say, you want to go back into the world again? Yes, I want to go back into the world. I want to be part of the solution rather than the problem. Grandmother says, well, you can go. Go now. But I tell you, there's lots of traps. Lots of traps. You could get lost right away. Grandmother, I want to go back into the world and be part of the solution. You go, she says. So we see our mother giving birth, but from here to you. That's the first time you see your mother. The second time you see your mother is when she's holding you, bringing you to her breast. But it's different now. We have a body. And we were meant to go from the east to the west. And when we got to the west, it doesn't matter what age you are. When you get to the western door, you let go of the body, the spirit goes back out. So what we have is beautiful energy coming in, going through life, letting go of the body, beautiful energy going out. I say to my friends, we have to stop talking about death. There's birth and death are the same thing. It's just reverse. We're meant to go through life like this. But residential school, violence will rip you apart, and you end up pulling your spirit with you. This is where mental illness takes place. Emotional illness takes place from that. Terrible experience is this. Covers your spirit. To be here is to feel these things, these ugliness, and it's scary. So we will either be in the future or in the past. Always the future or the past. My first 38 years was like that. I could never be here because of this experience. I began to believe this is me, so I would go out and do ugly things just to confirm. And it just got heavier and heavier and deeper and heavier and heavier and heavier, and it pressed on that fire. The same fire in the sun, same fire in there. When this gets to be too heavy and pressing down on that fire, the fire goes out, it goes tss. And that's when we go like this, bang. My experience is a terrible experience, drunk every day. My experience is that I had enough of that. I fall. Then I began to take these off. I took the first layer off, the second layer, third layer, fourth layer, fifth layer, lots of them. Until I came to the last one and I took it off. I cried and I cried and I cried and I took this last one off like that. It was like putting gas on a fire. My fire went. And I was sitting down when that happened, and it almost threw me off the seat. And I said, what was that, man? And I knew inside that my fire was burning, beginning to burn bright after all these years. And I realized that is my fire, that is my spirit. And it terrified me because it meant that I had to leave all those patterns behind. I had to now come out of the darkness and start moving in a good way. And it frightened me. I didn't think I could do it. At the same time, I didn't want to do it. It was too scary. So I closed my eyes and I started walking. And I went to sweats, I went to lodges, I went to circles, And I slowly started to speak, slowly began to feel this energy again, the spirit. Now, it took practice. It takes practice to be in that place. Like it took practice to be in the dark. The dark I was familiar with. I could go through the darkness with my eyes closed. As painful it was, that was a place for me to hide, a place for me where I could be, because I was familiar with that. This other journey scared me. But I close my eyes and I walk and I begin to really feel like a human being again. Right? For the first time in a long time. And this is an ugly experience. And I have to open it up, feel the pain, cry, scream. And when it settles down, I reach in there and I take the wisdom from that experience and push it inside. It moves around in time and it comes out. It comes out in my art, in my writing. This is my experience, and it's a teacher. It's a powerful teacher. So I want you to be courageous and look at those experiences and open them up and take the wisdom from that. You'll see the change. You will change. You will see that it's actually a gift. I'm going to go the rest of my life knowing who I am, being who I am, knowing that place. I want everybody, all my people, to see this. I want them to know how beautiful they are, all people actually, so we can stop hurting each other, pointing the finger at each other. People say, you drank you drank all your life, and sometimes I do have a drink. That's not the way that's not the way we lived. I says, you know what's wrong? What's worse than drinking drugs? This is what? This is the worst thing you can do. Oh, he's drunk again. Oh, he's a molester. Oh, he's a rapist. He's cruel. That's the worst thing. How are people going to heal when they see this all the time? They're not going to heal. They're not even going to want to go near you. Right? And I think that's why we take our lives. Because in our spirit we know there's a better place. It's not about heaven or hell. It's about living. We have to learn how to live again. We have to stop this pointing. In a lot of ways we become the perpetrator, the oppressor, simply because of this. Having a drink once in a while, having a smoke once in a while, isn't that? It's this. Well, there's a little girl, little boy in each one of us, and the little boy, little girl is saying, free my child, free the child inside of you. You say, what? The child is saying, take everything off my shoulders, everything. So we do that. I take this off, I take this off. There's more? Yeah. The child is saying, take everything off my shoulders. The child is saying, when there is nothing left on my shoulders, when I'm able to be free and to breathe again, only then can I show you how extraordinary you are. But until then, as long as it's covered up like that, the child cannot, spirit of who you are cannot show you anything. So our job is to take everything off the spirit, so the spirit inside of you can be free. Take everything off. Be courageous. That's the sacredness of all of us. That's the sacredness of my people. This knows how to be in relationship with you. This knows how to be in relationship with your partner. Marriage doesn't work because of this. In our minds we think we know everything, but we know nothing. It's all in our mind. Fear is the big thing. Shame is the worst. Shame is the worst thing to carry. So we unravel and take everything off that child, that spirit of ours, including the shame, everything. And the spirit of who we are knows the journey, knows how to be in relationship, understands the life, understands the journey. Understands where it comes from, understands where it's going, knows that.
Aho.
Miigwech.
Miigwech.
Mm-hmm.